Have you ever felt like Peter? Like, honestly, I was reading that story in Luke chapter 5. This man had been trying to catch fish all night. He tried, he worked hard, he was exhausted, and nothing happened. Nothing. And then the next day, as he was putting all his things away, Jesus shows up and he says, "Throw the net again." In broad daylight, at a time when experienced fishermen wouldn't even expect a catch. Peter knew better. He was a fisherman. And yet, Jesus asks him to try again. And as I was spending my time with God, something surfaced inside of me because I realized I feel like Peter, exhausted, like I've tried everything. For the past 20 years, I've tried to build a business, a family legacy, a family empire. And I did. And yes, I learned a lot: perseverance, consistency, how to keep going when things get hard. But if I'm honest, it also left wounds. And I'm at this point, like Peter, when you've tried it all and the nets just feel empty. Like maybe it's not worth the pain anymore, not worth the effort, and you're just tired. I'm not 25 anymore, I'm 41. At 25, I believed the sky was the limit. I believed that if I worked hard enough, I would eventually see the results. And now I'm at the age where I thought I would have been seeing the results by now. But what I see is not exactly what I imagined. And so I feel like Peter when Jesus asks me to do it again, to try it again, to throw the net again. And I'll be honest, sometimes it feels overwhelming. Do I have the energy for another project, another season, another step of faith? But there's one thing that does excite me about Peter's story. Jesus wasn't trying to prove that Peter could catch fish. He was showing him what happens when you walk with him. Yes, you can catch fish, but Jesus was calling him into something greater. Not a fisherman for fish, but a fisher of men. And I find myself thinking, if God, by his grace, gives me another 40 years of life, I think I'm done with my nets. Not because the past was wasted, but because I feel invited into something deeper now. I'm ready to build for his kingdom. I'm excited to see how my story, my wounds, my lessons can help others. I want to help women break free from their chains, to release the past, to walk in freedom, to walk strong, confident, with spiritual authority. And I've been telling my kids something lately. If God grants me a long life, I hope that one day, maybe at 85, maybe 90, even from a hospital bed, I will still have a voice to speak about him, to tell someone, a nurse, a doctor, or a stranger, who Jesus is, how he loved us, how he gave his life on the cross, how his grace changes everything. And honestly, I'm excited for what people might call the later years. Because, yes, physically the body changes, it may not get stronger, but I understand now the soul was made for eternity. The body will fade, but the soul keeps growing. So I choose to nourish my soul. And if God gives me a voice until the end of my days, I want to use it to speak about his love, his grace, his goodness. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you feel like time has passed. Maybe your strength feels worn out. Maybe you feel like this is the end of the road. But maybe we just feel like Peter. And maybe this is the exact moment when God begins calling us into a new mission. Hmm. So maybe today your nets feel empty. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're wondering if your best years are behind you. But what if this is not the end of your story? What if this is the moment Jesus steps into your boat and calls you into something greater? If you feel like Peter, don't be afraid to throw the net again. Because look at what the Bible says. Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets. So because he says so, I invite you to just let down your nets again and start dreaming again.